Hey guys, how's it going? This is FixerMed. Welcome back to my high yield anatomy review series for the USMLE Step 1, NBME CBSE, and NBME CAS examinations. This will be part 31 of my multi-part video series, giving a broad overview of the discipline of anatomy for these exams. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on today's content. So I'd like to open up today by talking about the actual abdominal aortic aneurysm. I'm sorry for accidentally putting abdominal aortic aneurysm in place of mesenteric ischemia in part 30 for the last set of content we covered. But for the real abdominal aortic aneurysm discussion, it is localized dilation of the aorta, typically occurs just above the bifurcation at the level of L4 and is intersected by the third part of the duodenum. Pulsations of a large aneurysm may be discerned to the left of the midline at the umbilical region. Acute rupture of an abdominal aortic aneurysm is linked with intense pain in the abdomen or back, resulting in a mortality rate of nearly 90%. Surgeons have the option to repair an aneurysm by opening it and inserting a prosthetic graft. And I have a picture of an abdominal aortic aneurysm to the right. Moving on. Next, we have Cholelithiasis, also known as Gallstones. I probably butchered the spelling and pronunciation of the alternative name of gallstones, but as you know, gallstones. Bile is produced by liver cells, stored and concentrated in the gallbladder before being transported to the duodenum. It is positioned to the right of the quadrate lobe on the visceral surface of the liver. The gallbladder resides in a fossa. Its primary function involves the storage and concentration of bile, which enters and exits via the cystic duct. The cystic duct combines with the common hepatic ducts originating from the left and right hepatic duct to form the common bile duct. Moving on, the fundus of the gallbladder is in contact with the transverse colon, allowing gallstones to erode through the posterior wall of the gallbladder and enter the transverse colon. Eventually, they are pressed or passed naturally to the rectum through the descending colon and sigmoid colon. Gallstones lodged in the body of the gallbladder may ulcerate through the posterior wall of the body into the duodenum as the gallbladder body is in contact with the duodenum. These stones may be held up at the ileocecal junction, leading to intestinal obstruction. All right, now that we're done with the content for the day, let's go ahead and do some NBME style review questions. We have a 65-year-old male who presents to the emergency department with severe abdominal pain and tenderness in his lower back. Upon examination, a pulsating mass is palpated to the left of the midline at the umbilical region. Which of the following best describes the condition associated with these findings? I think I gave you guys enough time there. If you need more time, please feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, moving on now. The presentation of severe abdominal pain, particularly in the lower back, along with a pulsating mass palpated to the left of the midline at the umbilical region, is highly suggestive of an abdominal aortic aneurysm. Acute rupture of such an aneurysm is associated with intense pain and carries a mortality rate of nearly 90%. Therefore, the correct answer is C, abdominal aortic aneurysm. Let's go ahead and see why the other answer choices are incorrect. Renal colic is incorrect because it typically presents with colicky flanky pain radiating to the groin, not with a pulsating mass in the umbilical region. Acute appendicitis is incorrect because it manifests with localized abdominal pain, typically in the right lower quadrant, without a pulsating mass. Gastric ulcer perforation is incorrect because it presents with sudden onset severe epigastric pain, not lower back pain, and does not typically involve a pulsating mass. Pancreatitis is incorrect because it presents with epigastric pain radiating to the back and is not associated with a pulsating mass in the umbilical region. Moving on. Next question. A 50-year-old woman presents to the emergency department with severe abdominal pain and yellowing of her eyes. Imaging reveals a gallstone lodged in the distal end of the hepatopancreatic ampulla. Which of the following best describes the likely consequence of this obstruction? Alright, I think I gave you guys enough time there. If you need more time, please feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, moving on now. The distal end of the hepatopancreatic ampulla is the narrowest part of the biliary passages and is a common site for gallstone impaction. Obstruction of this site can lead to bile duct obstruction, resulting in yellowing of the eyes and jaundice as seen in this patient. Therefore, the correct answer is D, yellow eyes and jaundice. Let's go ahead and see why the other answer choices are incorrect. A. Constipation and bloating is incorrect because these symptoms are not typically associated with gallstone impaction in the hepatopancreatic ampulla. Hematuria and flank pain is incorrect because these symptoms are suggestive of kidney-related issues, not gallstone obstruction. Intense spasmodic pain in the gallbladder without jaundice is incorrect because this description aligns more with the biliary colic caused by a stone lodged in the cystic duct, not the hepatopancreatic ampulla. Hematemesis and melena is incorrect because these symptoms suggest upper gastrointestinal bleeding, not gallstone obstruction. Moving on. Next question. We have a 60-year-old male who presents to the clinic with complaints of abdominal pain and constipation. Imaging reveals gallstones eroding through the posterior wall of the gallbladder and entering the transverse colon. Which of the following best describes the potential consequence of this phenomenon? Alright, I think I gave you guys enough time there. If you need more time, please feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, moving on now. The erosion of gallstones through the posterior wall of the gallbladder and into the transverse colon can lead to the passage of stones into the intestines. If these stones become lodged at the ileocecal junction, they may cause intestinal obstruction, resulting in symptoms such as abdominal pain and constipation. Therefore, the correct answer is C, intestinal obstruction. Let's go ahead and see why the other answer choices are incorrect. Hematuria and flank pain is incorrect because these symptoms suggest kidney-related issues, not complications of gallstone erosion. Bloating and diarrhea is incorrect because these symptoms are not typically associated with gallstone erosion and intestinal obstruction. Hematemesis and melena is incorrect because these symptoms suggest upper gastrointestinal bleeding, not gallstone-related issues. Rectal bleeding and tenesmus is incorrect because while rectal bleeding may occur, if stones pass into the rectum, tenesmus is not typically associated with gallstone complications. That will do it all for the content today, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to write them down in the comment section below. Just wanted to apologize again for the error on part 30. That is the only error I've caught thus far on my anatomy review series. So if anything else catches your eyes, be sure to alert me. I've been double checking the slides more carefully since that has occurred, since I was supposed to talk about abdominal aortic aneurysm in this part, which I did, but wound up talking about it in part 30 as a subheading when it should have just been mesenteric ischemia instead. So that is all for today, guys. As always, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. This is FixerMed signing off. Be sure to have a great day, everyone, and good luck studying as always.